welcome to the Superfan Show. I am the Grendel, joined by my friend, the Clickbait King.
That's the king of all rumors. There's no clickbait here. I tell you the things that you need to know, the things you need to hear. And that's the truth.
And William is still waiting in line for his Star Wars tickets. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, their future in the MCU. Gonna be a while, according to Kevin Feige, that we might not see them until 2021, something like that. And I understand why they would do that. I mean, you don't want to jump right into a property as soon as you get your hands on it. I mean, they waited a long time after they got their hands on Spider-Man to put him in. Oh, wait, no, they didn't. No, really, I don't understand why they're doing this. Why would they wait?
I didn't understand if I should be mad at Kevin Feige or if I should just be laughing my ass off, because this goes to show that that Fantastic Four reboot that came out a couple years ago, that abortion of a movie that came out, was so bad that Disney doesn't want to touch the Fantastic Four until like 2025. That means I don't get any Silver Surfer, no Galactus, none of that stuff's going to take place in the MCU until like 2025. Give me a break.
Perhaps that could be the reason, but it is good that the X-Men comics are going to be coming back, because when Fox owned the X-Men, fuck the fans of the X-Men, we'd kill them in our comics. But now that Marvel's got them back, oh, okay, we'll start putting those comics back out again. Which actually reminds me of shitting on things that you don't own. You know, it kind of goes in the same line in that it was also a Kevin Feige thing. The cancellation of Daredevil. The Defenders, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Punisher, Iron Fist. Okay, well, I don't give a shit about Iron Fist. But it was no secret that Kevin Feige did not like these shows, and I don't understand why, and especially how they said, oh, no, Daredevil may return on our streaming service that's going to be a lot cheaper than Netflix, because Disney is determined to put Netflix out of business, and Netflix isn't doing much to stop that with raising their price and, you know, having some difficulties with certain properties. But I don't really understand why you would want to relaunch a Daredevil on your thing when I like the Daredevil that was on Netflix. You know, I think I understand why he didn't like Daredevil. Because in many ways, Daredevil was far more compelling than anything that the MCU has done. And at least Daredevil Season 1, Episode 2, the hallway fight, was head and shoulders above anything the MCU has done, because it's one static shot that moves around. There's not 87 jump cuts in 3 minutes. So they did a very good job, so maybe that's why he didn't like it. But it almost feels like the same thing with the X-Men. We didn't like them when they were with Fox. And he even said this, it just feels good to have them back home.
Here, let's look at this. Something else we liked when it came back home, and that was Spider-Man, which you technically don't even own that because Sony's still got plenty of Spider-Man material that they can work with.
Hang on to it.
Alright, so here's the thing. That Spider-Man movie came out in, like, I think 2014. By 2016, you had him in Civil War, so that's a bunch of crap anyways. I don't know, it seems like Kevin Feige's starting to take lessons from Kathleen Kennedy and just absorbing the bullshit that she releases out of her river of denial of acknowledging anything the fans are upset with. So, the thing that I think that is very strange is the fact that you're even releasing the Dark Phoenix, and then you don't want to touch the X-Men for a few years too. Why didn't you just release the Dark Phoenix on the new Disney streaming service as you're burying Netflix at the same time?
Probably because the Dark Phoenix is
because I'm super excited about X-Men. I'm super excited about the Fantastic Four. I give my crown off to the Marvel, Kevin Feige, what he's done so far. You've done some excellent things with the Marvel franchise compared to the garbage that DC was putting out for a long time. Of course, that's about ready to change once the Joker movie comes out. I think that whole dynamic is going to change. And you're getting ready to end with the Avengers Endgame, which that's a spectacular thing. We're all looking forward to that. It's the biggest event. You know, my crown's off to you, but still, to sit there and say that we're not going to see Galactus, we're not going to see Silver, we're not going to have the Fantastic Four for 5 years is just ridiculous. But I give him credit because at least I'm not walking to the end game going, ooh, are we going to see Wolverine? Ooh, are we going to see any of the mutants? Are we going to see Professor X or anything like that? So, unlike Star Wars, that will push out whatever they want just to get you to buy a ticket. Palpatine laughing.
Yes, which
I'll get to that
brings
later.
me to my next point, in that this could all be misdirection. Saying that the X-Men won't appear, Fantastic Four won't appear for 5 years, could be misdirection. And if there's one thing that Marvel Studios has been very good at in recent years, it's misdirection. You know, the whole thing with the Hulk in Wakanda never fucking happened. That was a brilliant piece of misdirection.
Well, technically he was.
I will give him, yeah, technically he was there, but not really there. So it could just be you don't want to give away something big that's going to happen, which I'll respect that. Or maybe you just don't want your fans to get their hopes too high that they might see Wolverine, which those rumors have been going forever, it seems, that you won't see Wolverine in Endgame at any point. And that's okay if you want to do that. Or just don't say anything. Let the fans speculate.
Again, I have to say that Kevin Feige always does a good job trying to deal with bad publicity. Unlike some other people that we could go on and on talking about, he doesn't want there to be a bunch of rumors and people have expectations to go into Endgame and then come out. Or he could be doing a swerve. But I can't get, like, you guys just did a video a couple weeks ago about the Dark Phoenix, and I'm just amazed that movie is even coming out in theaters because we all know it's going to be a train wreck.
Yeah. You might as well just let your enemy fall on the sword.
So I think that
fans will be happy.
The issue that they have is the stench. They want to make sure the stench is off the Fantastic Four and that stench is off the X-Men. So your mind's cleared and they can reboot it and bring something new. So I can get that. I don't know.
I just don't see why you could not say anything. Because if you don't say anything,
I'm more upset about Daredevil than I actually am about the
if you leave it alone
and the Fantastic Four.
Exactly, me too. Because if you leave it alone, fans can speculate. You didn't say anything. No one can be angry if you didn't say anything and they go into Endgame and there's no X-Men. Well, we never fucking told you there would be. Right. So the fact that he did say something makes me think it might be misdirection because you didn't have to. But yeah, the Daredevil thing super pisses me off. You know, I don't understand that. And
Daredevil
then
and Punisher with the cream of the crop.
Yes, and then killing it to the point that you're selling off the assets. I mean, that's just a big fuck you to that entire show. But that's too bad it happened. But you mentioned DC has now rolled out 3 successful movies in a row. And
Joker, it's not bad. And that Joker trailer,
Joker looks like it's about to change the landscape again and could give DC a big boost. And maybe, give them an idea of where they need to go. But they seem to be doing much better now.
But I've said that, and I've said this before, everything that's leading up to the Avengers Infinity War, everything that's led up to Endgame, I mean, that was their big...
Exactly.
Big release.
Exactly. This is the orgasm, and afterwards is the come down when you really just don't
what movies are we looking forward to? I'm interested in Spider-Man. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you got the Black Widow movie coming out, you probably got another Doctor Strange.
And another Black Panther,
Eternals.
and those will be good movies.
Yeah. But are they going to be leading to something like Thanos?
I don't think so.
Will Marvel be able to do this again? What they pulled off with Infinity War and Endgame is just phenomenal. When you see that movie packed with all those heroes and all those stars, can it be repeated?
That is a good question, and I don't think it
They have the people to do it.
They have the people to do it, but I don't think you can repeat this. Because
Infinity War
took,
what, 10 years?
Yeah, for sake of argument.
10 years to get to Infinity War. So technically, saying the X-Men and the Fantastic Four 5 years from now, that could be perfect placement because that would put them around Winter Soldier time. It could, when business really started picking up in Marvel Universe. So it could be some very strategic planning of just when the fans think that they're burned out on superhero movies. Unlike Star Wars, we already have Star Wars fatigue, but I gotta let it go. I'll probably have to go to therapy for a little bit to deal with that. But just when they think they got superhero fatigue, here come the new launched X-Men, and here comes the new launched Fantastic Four to spice things up in the Marvel Universe, and that would be perfect timing for a Galactus or a Kang or whatever.
Which it could be, but I don't think they will ever repeat this, and maybe they won't even try, because they might know... Well,
this is pretty big.
What am I talking about? They're a corporation. They're gonna fucking try it again. But, because let's say for sake of argument that you do Galactus. You already had a galactic universal threat in Thanos. I mean, literally, how do you top wiping out half the life in the universe?
I think eating the planet would be pretty epic.
You can't top it.
I'm gonna eat the planet.
You've hit the crescendo as far as galactic threats go already. Unless Galactus is... Even if he's destroying the universe, Thanos will have a higher body count. He wiped out half the life in the fucking universe. You don't ever top that.
So you're saying they painted themselves in a corner?
I really do think they have, as far as huge crossovers.
DC's got a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow because they had F stuff up towards beyond all recognition.
DC has nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think you could do in the Marvel Universe that might equal it is smaller, contained stories. You know, give us a really good X-Men story featuring a decent Apocalypse that doesn't look like the bad guy from the Power Rangers. You know, give us a good Fantastic Four story, and if you want to do a crossover, maybe give us something smaller, more localized, more personal, i.e. Doctor Doom. He's not threatening the galaxy. Hell, he's not even threatening the planet. He just wants to take it over. But maybe that would give you a different direction, because I just think if you do a galactic threat again, the big complaint will be,
okay,
we already saw this shit.
Right. But see, my thing is, Galactus fits into that spectrum, because if it was me and I'm directing, I think the very next thing that I would want to do, to tease everybody and to just make everybody lose their mind, would be Secret Wars, where I snatch all the heroes disappear, and they all end up on another planet.
And that's a different approach.
Where Galactus falls in, because he was part of that evil entourage on the other side. So I think they should go Secret Wars. But I guess, besides Daredevil, I am a little ticked off about the Fantastic Four, because I've loved Fantastic Four since the very beginning of reading comic books, and I just think the Fantastic Four need to be put in the MCU sooner than later, but I guess I have to sit back and wait 5 years. I'll be in a retirement home by then.
Yeah, they would be a good fit, and I think the fans of the Fantastic Four would really love.
Yeah, you can let X-Men die down for a while, because that stench is going to be horrendous after this next movie.
Yeah, more than likely. The main thing I gotta say is, good job, Universal. Some people might be upset that they can't get a standalone Hulk movie in the MCU, and they might say Universal's not doing anything with the Hulk. But I just say, hold on to that property, Universal. I'm a big fan, because Disney cannot get a consolidation over everything. Fuck that. You're gonna have a monopoly. You hold on to the Hulk and you cash that check, and Sony, you hold on to every Spider-Man character that you can, and you cash that check if they want to use that character. Marvel sold off the rights to these characters a long time ago, and now that they're doing well, doesn't mean they have to get them all back. So I say, bravo, Universal. Hold on to the Hulk with both fucking hands.
I'll tell you this. Until Universal is able to put out a $1 billion Hulk movie, they're up for auction just like any of the other superhero properties. Because after this streaming service is released, and I can understand why Kevin Feige would want to put out some other information, because of some of the backlash that was taking place because of getting rid of the series from Netflix, where a lot of people are like, I'm going to boycott the Disney series, we're not going to get it, we don't care about it, which I think that's just ridiculous, because I think the Disney streaming service is going to be amazing, but at the same time, you know, are they going to do anything more with Daredevil? But, you know, we already looked. They've got, what was it, Vision and the Scarlet Witch are going to have a series. I think Loki's supposed to have a series. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to have a series. I mean, they're literally taking these guys from the movies, which also F's up who's really dead and who's not from the Endgame, the fact that this news came out. But they've got all these series that are headed to the Disney streaming service. I mean, this is pretty big to have that caliber of stars doing shows on the Disney streaming service. So, are you going to miss Daredevil and Punisher when you can see Vision and Scarlet Witch?
And I will miss them, because I hated how they were treated like the redheaded stepchildren. But it's just how it goes, and hopefully some better competition comes along. Maybe DC can get it, because that's the one thing I fear of Disney consolidating all of these characters, is if we've learned anything, to step outside the realm of movies, if we've learned anything from the WWE, it's that without competition, sometimes your product can get a little shitty for a little while. So that's my big fear. Marvel needs competition so they can keep cranking out these amazing movies, even though they're starting to get a little formulaic. And even speaking of Endgame, I know how it's going to go. Marvel's told me how it's going to go. With all these shows, announcing all these movies that are coming out. I know the Avengers are going to face Thanos, the Avengers will beat Thanos, and most of the people that died will come back. The biggest question in Endgame is, will Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man survive? That's really the only question I have going into this movie. Which is kind of sad. In Infinity War, I had no fucking idea what was going to happen. In Endgame, I got a pretty good idea.
But it's watching the spectacle take place. And
it's the spectacle.
I always take my crown off to Kevin Feige and what he's done with the MCU. I might be a little disappointed I gotta wait a little longer for Fantastic Four, but I'll tell you what, at least I won't have superhero fatigue.
No, you won't have superhero fatigue.
King of all rumors.
I'm the Grendel.
We'll see you next time on the Superfan Show.